this is a reminder to you that you are watching the Public Safety Special Broadcast. That's right, we are back. New year, no new chapter. Yeah, but
Sad.
we're
No new
still
chapter,
back.
so we're making up shit to talk about.
Yes, we're still back to do more yapping about the anime and manga sensation written by Tatsuki Fujimoto Sensei, as we were talking about. Ghost
Tatsuki
written
Sensei.
by Gege Akutami. And, we were here to talk about 2023 in review, the year in Chainsaw Man, because it was kind of a crazy year. It was kind of a full stretch front to back of the year, kind of laid out. It does sort of read in full, which is very interesting. So I wanted to get a big overview with some commentators here, some guests of mine, and I will have them introduce ourselves in our traditional fashion. I, of course, am Secret Doves, Public Safety Communication Division 18 Vice Captain, coming to you from the
Oh God!
Oh,
here.
since when did you rise up the rank?
Media bunker. I've started vice captain. Okay, I came in vice captain. I had an educational
Okay.
background that
So
helped me.
Makima promoted you. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it was very easy to
Nepotism,
worm
but
my way
okay.
in here. But then the media budget was low, so they shoved me in a bunker. So here I am. Here I'm coming to you from the hyper secure media bunker. And of course, my devil contract is with the War Devil. I would like my guests to introduce themselves, state your name, age, and devil contract, of course, age 33.
Okay.
We love it.
I'm Silent Hill Marijuana on Twitter, but my name is Alex. I'm 18. I am public safety janitor. I be cleaning. I clean things. Love cleaning. My devil contract is with the Annie's mac and cheese devil. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Perfect for a janitor. You know, low grade, simple contract, useful, powerful.
Yeah, no, I resell the Annie's mac and cheese at a higher price into the Japanese economy.
Wow.
Capitalism.
No, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
True.
My name is Zuzu. I'm 17, and my devil contract is with the Tomato Devil, like per the tradition. Yeah.
Yes. Tomato
I don't
Devil.
work in public safety. I just do illegal contracts everywhere.
Okay, Yoshida. I see.
Yeah.
Zuzu, a regular civilian associate of the broadcast. Thank you for joining. Glad we could get some of the lower level janitorial staff on the broadcast as well. Share their working class insights.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, we have.
Thank you for taking pity.
Yeah. Economic assessment. I'm not gonna lie to you. The captain said I had to do it, but here we are.
It's okay.
Yeah. Here we are. No, I'm very excited to have Alex on the broadcast. I've been wanting to have.
I'm chilling
for a long time.
I'm chilling.
Love the discussion.
So excited! This is the episode you're like joining us in, because I know
I'm excited.
A lot to say about this year.
Oh
yeah,
man.
I'm really happy that you joined, because I was so. If there's like anyone who I would want to talk about what happened this year, it's gonna be you, Zuzu. You fucking you love Asaden.
Okay, so let's dive into it. 2023 Chainsaw Man in review. Now, for those of you following along at home, 2023, the stretch of chapters, begins at chapter 116, which, if you don't know,
I know that.
Top of your head.
Everyone does.
We have viewers at home. You know what I mean? They don't know. 116.
I know every chapter by name, and I know what happens there.
My God.
You do? Okay, what's the title?
Maybe up until the Denji arc, then it gets a little messed up, but I generally know most
Up
of the
until
characters
Asa
here.
disappeared, basically.
Yeah.
Well, can you blame me? I was my
I
attention
can't
span
blame
was
you.
this
It's
long.
important to know yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you say you know all the chapter titles. What is 116 chapter title?
Oh, I forgot. I think it's the aquarium something.
Yeah.
Well, so that's
Yeah.
the next chapter. Aquarium Spear. So 116 is Taste of Starfish. So for those of you
Oh,
following along at home, 116.
Dude, the fact
the year.
you knew it was in the aquarium arc at all is kind of crazy.
That's true.
I literally like I saw a spoiler list of chapter 116 and it was like freaking the fuck out. So
Dude,
Yes,
early year
it's-
Chainsaw Man leaks were crazy.
yeah.
It's deep into our hearts. This is the real teenage romance love in the aquarium. Asa and Denji running through the aquarium. What a chapter that was. Oh,
Yeah.
baby, we lost it. That was kicking off the year and ending on, of course, chapter 151. I forgot the title of this, even though it's the latest chapter. It's a
I think
The
Chainsaw Man
Return of
Returning?
Chainsaw Man.
yes.
Yeah.
Return
It
of
reads like
Chainsaw
a
Man.
movie poster, right?
Oh my god.
The Return of Chainsaw Man. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
So
This guy
freaking
Fujimoto is such a loser. I swear.
He's oh my god, he's totally
Dude,
writer.
he was born in a sopping wet cardboard box all alone.
Someone
It's
had
true.
to, you know.
Dude,
I believe
neither of
they
his
covered him
parents
in a-
showed up to his birth.
Lynn picked him up.
Yeah, and picked him up
No,
like a
you know,
kitten.
I miss. Yeah.
Took him home.
Yeah.
No, dude, don't punt him like a football.
No, let him live. Please.
Live, you say?
Yes.
Wait,
Live?
Live?
Anyway, we're gonna do
If
the
we're gonna
fire.
talk about Live, we're gonna have to talk about Fire Punch this
Yeah,
year.
we're gonna.
No.
There's gonna be the Fire Punch episode at some point.
dude,
The Fire Punch arc.
like, yeah. Really quick on Fire Punch, that one post where like these manga need an anime. Seeing Fire Punch there gave me like a full body reaction. I cannot think of a worse. I cannot think of a worse fucking fandom that would emerge than a fucking Fire Punch anime. Like I got fucking scared. I had to turn off my phone for a second. I had to shut it off. Like look at the wall. Like I was so terrified.
Otsuka said he does want to do Fire Punch. He does want.
Yeah, he said he wanted to
He
animate
did?
every Fujimoto work,
That would be
right?
so
Yeah.
bad.
That would be
I'll do
so
all the
fucking
ones
scary.
back
The
now.
manga fans are already like bad enough. We have the anime fans now? Are y'all crazy?
Yeah,
No, it's bad. It's scary as
No.
fuck.
I think.
Dude,
I
the
just think-
only good thing.
I do think Fire Punch is a little more adaptable in a sense, though. It's kind of like
No,
The Chainsaw Man, really?
I think it's different. Like there are some panels that are so like I don't know, maybe the last arc of Fire Punch more, but I don't think those panels are adaptable. Like
that's true.
there's
Weird.
something about the layout is just I love manga. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I love comic books.
Yeah.
Speaking of comic books, we're talking about comic comic book here. Let's get into 2023. That's the stretch of chapters. It's a long stretch of chapters, 35 chapters on the year. Oh man. So just to block things out, just to give everyone a framework for where our commentary is coming from on this year in Chainsaw Man, I want to hear from everybody your best and worst chapter from the year. What was the chapter in this stretch? If you don't know the number off the top of your head, it's fine. We will dig into it. It will not take me long to find. Which one, just that one hits. That was the peak of the year. This is real Chainsaw Man. This is real manga. Give me your choices. I'm sorry with Zuzu. Boom. I want to hear Zuzu.
Why me? You're putting me on the spotlight like that.
You would definitely have more concrete like peaks than me for this year.
Honestly, there's only 3 of you. I just picked one.
Okay. Actually, I think my best, like the chapter, I think that's the best. It's just a favorite. Like, is there a difference between best and favorite? I don't think so.
It's up to
At
you.
least for
No, no.
This is your moment, you know.
Wow, thank you, Doves. I really appreciate it. 100, 1 to 7, that chapter. I think it's the best one of the year.
127.
Oh yes, hands
It
across
is
the sky.
best.
Come on. Yup.
This is peak Astaden, okay? This is peak. This is so peak.
I like that you didn't say it's peak Chainsaw Man, just peak Astaden.
Okay.
Those
Let
are the
me
same.
reiterate.
In
It's
Zuzu
peak Chainsaw Man and peak
evaluation.
Astaden. I think it encapsulates both, like, I don't know, the protagonists meeting up and actually talking about their issues for the first time, like with anyone. That's mind blowing, no?
No, I totally understand. It's a really good chapter that, like, we've seen a lot of into Asa's mindset, but when she's like visualizing it like out loud with another person, it's special. Like the way Asa thinks and the way she talks are like polar opposites. So seeing both of them at the same time gave a better insight into the character.
And this was also the last your panels for I think about like 2
Well, yeah, you constantly were on and off about Euro appearing or not, so can't really blame you. Actually, maybe just the 127, 128, and 129, like those chapters are good, really good.
God, such a good strength.
I really like the Falling Devil arc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, I agree. Couldn't agree more.
I think people didn't really like it, didn't fully appreciate the magnitude of the Falling Devil arc on on as it was coming out. You know what I mean?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Zuzu was on that shit day one.
I mean,
Exactly.
I was also like, my mind was being blown. I was like, people aren't freaking the fuck out over this arc. This arc is insane.
They don't know. They don't know yet anything.
Necessarily.
I love that arc. I think that was my favorite arc of 2023.
Agreed.
Okay.
It definitely is.
So that line with your favorite chapter of 2023. Let's hear it.
So I was okay. This is gonna be a little controversial. I don't remember the number. I was actually looking through chapters. It got me so hyped.
Really? How so?
It's because it wasn't a 1-to-1, but there's like 4 different instances where it's clearly like calling back to Riz, and that got me really excited. Like I was really hyped.
I see.
So and like even then when I
chapter 139, by the way.
Thank you very fucking much. I actually need that. Like I needed it really bad. I totally forgot. But and I don't know. I really like Miri as a character. I think you said there's going to be a section on like favorite new characters, right?
Yeah.
Favorite characters.
So I'll hold off on like exactly why, but yeah. So like that's my favorite chapter as it was coming out. And I think when I like look back, my favorite chapter, I think it also has to be the one Zuzu picked. Like as a whole, like as its own piece, it's so good, and it tells you so much about Asa. It tells you so much about Denji by like just association with him. It's really good.
I just loved the paneling so much on the chapter.
Yeah, and also the paneling also is really fucking great.
Yeah, this is Fujimoto doing his really. This is Fujimoto doing his real freeform paneling. He's been very structured with part 2. Like it's super like intentional in the paneling. Like
yeah.
This one he's just balling out of control. One page is like this, one page is like that. The structures, they don't really fit together, but they flow. He's just balling. He's in his zones.
Yeah,
If we're gonna
this,
talk about panels, I think my favorite like transition panel was when we got chapter 140, maybe. No. It's when Asa got cut up by Yoshida.
oh, and then it made her.
Yeah, the
scar,
blood
right?
drip from Quan Chi's arm to the floor. Like,
yeah, when she was blocking Fumiko,
yeah,
right?
that's like
That's not
genius,
bad.
I think.
148,
It's really good. It's really good, actually.
right?
Fumiko is such a useless animal, but she gave good to a good panel, so it's great.
I must agree.
Very
Like, maybe I was thinking about the worst chapter of the year, but like other than Fumiko, I think
Let me get my
like
favorite.
introduction.
Wait.
Yeah?
Wait. Let him get
Yeah.
his favorite in before we
Let
start
me get
on
my
ours.
favorite. Then we'll start talking about food. My favorite, also from Falling Arc overall, my favorite in the moment, and let me just check that I got the number right. Yep. My favorite weekly and looking back, chapter 130. Kill
All right, let me check.
building. This
Yeah.
chapter is
Oh,
Yes.
nonsense.
this is really good.
This chapter is honestly, people did not fuck with this chapter when it dropped, but I did because it was.
They didn't? I don't remember.
It's a
Oh,
full.
yeah.
It's
they
because
were
it's super
It's
short.
like a 5-minute read. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. Just enjoy what you have.
It's a 20
Dude,
page
the
chapter.
effects so good.
20-page chapter with 6 double spreads. That means
It's crazy.
yeah, it's actually only 18 because the last 2 pages are.
How does he do it?
18 pages, 6 double spreads. That means we're talking like 60% of the chapter is just double page spreads. Multiple double page spreads in a row, just like back to back. 2-page structures, really incredible illustration. I think the assistants and Fujimoto himself were just going absolutely insane.
Yeah, this is. I was rereading it when you said the number. I was rereading it, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really remember this chapter much." And then I scrolled down. I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
I really like the interactions that Chainsaw and Asa have. They're so little, but
it's
genuinely funny.
Very funny. It's a funny chapter. It's a weird chapter. It's a confusing chapter. The paneling.
I really like that one spread of explosion. It just the magnitude you get from like.
Yeah, he totally understands.
And this, crazy.
Yes, doing that in 2 full-page spreads. It was a little. It's a pretty. It's a bold choice, to put it that way, because again, you are using a lot of pages for just this one. Like, this is something that might be a one double spread sometimes, and to use 2 for it, make a sequence of double spreads. That's just such a Fujimoto move.
It's so good.
Reminiscent of like
that's why he's so good. That's why Chainsaw Man is so good. Like it's making these bold choices, and that's why it's differentiated.
Yeah, that's
dude, it's so great.
Like the characters, the arcs, like. There's nothing I love more than the Falling arc and just what Fujimoto is doing with part 2. I know a lot of people said like they don't like it. It's not really their like thing, but I think it's doing something special. Maybe not part 1, but like there's a lot to love.
Yes, I think to me just the culmination of the Falling arc is the Chainsaw Man motorcycle. It gets everything together, and it's just
like it's created by Asa, but Denji thinks he made it. It's crazy and it's fun. They share it. So like even in those 3 things, it like says a lot. Like it says Asa's power is growing. It says Denji still isn't aware of his own true potential.
Yeah.
It says that they comfortable sharing that kind of thing with one another, and then like as a whole, like it completely like says everything about what Chainsaw Man is. Like it's crazy and it's fun and it's weird, but it's dangerous, you know?
Yes, so fucking sick. Chapter 130. These were our top picks. They're all great chapters.
Wait. I want to say something too from another chapter that I really loved from the Denji arc, actually.
Yes.
I think it's Normal Life Plus. I don't remember. Like when Denji asked Naota if this is the life that like he wants.
Is it the silent chapter? The one
Yeah,
mostly silent?
it must be, but I don't remember.
Give me a second. It's 141.
Okay, so that chapter.
And you were right on the name.
Something about it, like the silence, the culmination that comes in chapter.
Oh yeah.
The latest chapters, 150, 151. It's just so good.
Yeah.
You understand
I agree. There's one. Yeah. There's two scenes in that chapter that are like some of my favorite of part 2. It's when they're at the store and the half-off Chainsaw Man curry buns.
Yeah.
And then also when they're walking past the Asa posters and they see a monster and Denji gets really excited along with Naota, and then he's about to pull his ripcord, but then he doesn't, and they just wait for other devil hunters to go ahead of them. Well, not devil hunters. It was the Devil Hunter Club, but
reminds me of what Yoshida said. Like, you're not the protagonist of this world, right?
Yeah, it's so good. Like Chainsaw Man is, and also like, dude, seeing curry buns of yourself, that's crazy enough, but seeing them be half off, that's even crazy.
That's soul crushing, kind of.
No, it is, right? Like it's like you're being used for profit, but like it's a unique evil. Like, damn, I'm half off. That's crazy.
Also, this chapter is a great example of like the very structured paneling that Fujimoto has.
Yeah, it's so deliberate in everything it does.
Pages 5 and 6, you just have the full four blocks across 2 pages. It just hits, dude. Oh my god, real yes, so good. I also love that one. If we're talking the Denji arc, I gotta give a big shout out to chapter 134. This is Denji's breakdown. The fake saw reveal.
Yes.
You know.
I own that chapter, but it's fire. It's amazing.
Expressions, the pain.
131, you said?
Yeah. The way it's all structured, it's just it hits different, dude. It's so good.
Denji crying like at television is. I didn't think that made me so emotional.
It's
really good, dude. It's so interesting to me because like about crying, but the one who cries the most in part 1 in like a serious context, because if it wasn't a serious context, it would just be Kobeni. But it's definitely Aki. Like he cries very often, and I always love that about Aki because like with this what's the word? Stoic silent characters. They like when they cry, it's usually like a really dramatic moment in the manga where like they turn away and like it's all dark paneling. But Aki cries so often, and Denji barely ever cries. And when he does, when he like really cries, it's like usually a comedic thing, like tears of joy. But then like at the end, when he's crying that he wants to be Chainsaw Man, so like it reminded me of that. Like I don't know, it's good.
3 times he broke it down. It's all he wants to be Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, before we get into the big themes, worst chapters. Let's go through. What's the mid? Is Chainsaw Man really peak? Or were we just yapping? Where's the mid? Show me.
I hated Chainsaw Man this whole time, personally.
You hated which one?
Oh no, I said I've hated Chainsaw Man this whole time. Personally.
This is ass. You're.
I know. It was. I was just pretending.
I was pretending.
Yeah. My favorite ongoing is Boruto.
Yeah. We all know.
I've heard Boruto is kind of good right now, though.
There was a time skip, so I think with time skips, there's a lot of potential to be pounced on immediately, but it depends on how it goes in the future.
Speaking of time skips, what Fujimoto did, I'm gonna kill him. I'm literally gonna kill him. I'm not joking. I fight him, I kill him. Where I make him draw more.
Dude, on the time skip, I read the chapter when it came out, obviously. I genuinely didn't register that there had been a time skip until I reread it. Like a day later, I think. I was like, what the fuck? I just thought it was like, I thought it was like a day, and Asa was just like really fucking bawling, so everyone knew her after one day.
Yes, she just bawled out of control.
Like, I realized, and I was like, oh shit, no, please, God, no.
It's such a weird thing to time skip for what Chainsaw Man's trying to do right now.
I don't know how long of a time skip it was. Okay, I think
it was like half a year.
We'll come back. It's very unclear. The full text of the time skip, the reported text we have is that this female high school student is making headlines for defeating over 10 devils this month alone. But so it's a month, maybe, but
yeah, I think
at the same time,
since it says this month alone,
but they're saying this month alone, but also they're attributing the rumors, like attribute some of the events of the story thus far to her. So like they're calling Yuko kill hers. They're calling the Bat Devil hers. They're saying maybe she defeated the Cockroach Devil. They're saying they saw her at the aquarium. So there's 10 devils she defeated in this month, but then some of them we've already seen. So I'm not actually sure how long of a time skip it really was supposed to be, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I interpreted it as like this month alone. So like they were talking about like previous devils, and then the new month was a different 10 devils. But your interpretation makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I personally like to think that at least like 2 months has passed or something, because something differently. Because after we also get a lot of like Denji going like through things, right? And it takes a lot of time. The normal life plus, like every day, showing us how he's living. So
yeah, exactly. Like I really wish we could have gotten that day to day with Asa. Actually, that would have been a great parallel, right? Like a great contrast. Like Denji's boring ass life with no dialogue because nothing worthwhile is being said, and then Asa's like quippy ass one liners while she's like killing people. Like that would have been great.
I want to know what she's like, what she's been going through, like the development of with Yoru and her parasocialism. Like, because I know a lot of people definitely have parasocialism with her.
Dude, Asa definitely made an account on Chainsaw Man Twitter and was like, "Hey guys, I'm new to Chainsaw Man Twitter. I'm an Asa solo. Don't interact with me like Chainsaw Man." She was following all the makers of the Asa fan cams.
She definitely watches them.
Yeah, no, on the 1998 Twitter, which was a thing.
She's trolling around what would be 2 channel for Chainsaw Man posts, you know. She's trolling all the people who flame Asa Mitaka, you know what I mean?
No, dude, she would get like really mad. People would be like, "Asa can't defeat this devil," and then Asa would be like, "Yes, she can. War devil is the most powerful."
She could easily She would play this strategy She used this weapon for
Yeah, dude, dude. You know, like like she would like grab Yoru and be like, "We're going out right fucking now, bro.
We're gonna show him."
Yeah, I think it was truly a missed opportunity. I think that the biggest criticism is the missing chapter of Asa and Yoru being badass and doing a cool fight.
Yes, exactly.
It'd been really cool.
This was a free dunk. This was a free W. Everyone would have called it peak fiction, and you literally don't have to advance the plot.
Do
You
I
don't
think
anything.
one of the more
doesn't have
reasons
to be
why
relevant
it's
to
so
the story.
frustrating.
Oh, go ahead.
I think why it's so frustrating too is because we had a falling arc where Yoru and Asa like fought and actually discussed what's been happening, and Asa told her like how she felt. Like, any normal person, especially Asa, they would freak the hell out, and she did in chapter 2 about a devil living in her. So her coming like somewhat to terms, and especially after like the chapter 129 or 128, I don't remember, but Yoru like comments that she wants to save Chainsaw, and it really frustrates her. And she's like trying to understand her, like beginning to understand, and it still doesn't work.
You just everything you're saying about like we could have had Yoru.
We could have had it all.
I forgot.
Melting.
We have like the number one Yoru agendist right here.
This is like every day I think about we could have had Yoru lore. Every chapter that goes
I mean,
by
it's
no
not
Yoru
even
lore.
it's not even an agenda, really. Like the amount of people who I say see Yoru as like an actual fraud genuinely confuses me. Like people like actually saying like she's like not powerful, blah blah. It's like yeah, that's the point of the story, dude. Like the fact that war isn't feared right now because it's all kept under wraps.
Yeah, I mean, she will have her time. Yoru will win. This is very
dogs. I thought you. Wait, did you forget about the Yoru chapter that we had?
Oh,
the best chapter.
Don't even
let
do
him
this.
talk. Let him cook.
Bro.
606 Sword. I mean, 606 Sword is incredible chapter, but it is not my favorite chapter. I do like the Chainsaw Man motorcycle more, but it is, you know, if you ask me the top 3, it's in there. I mean, 606 Sword, absolute god. Oh my god.
Definitely.
You don't even joke, lad. You know, this is my Roman Empire. Okay. Let's get into worst chapters that actually exist. You know, we had the worst chapter that doesn't exist that should. But give me your low point in the year. When were you just like, man, I don't know about Chainsaw Man? You just like,
Alex.
Well, rubs hands together. Yeah. I have a few things to say. The latest arc, I really did not like it. And not the Denji Living arc, but like specifically the Chainsaw Man Church mixing with the Denji Living arc. I didn't like it until 149 Devil's Choice. I would say around that like area. Like I liked some specific chapters. Like I liked the guns nails katana because of that new fiend person thing. Yeah. And I liked some of Choo Choo Lovey because it was fun, even if I think Fumiko needs to like get boiled alive. But you know. But a lot of like the recent chapters, they just weren't like hitting any like peaks or like any emotional significance for me. And I really this sucks to say, but like a really big factor of that is the art got really bad.
Yeah.
Maybe not bad, but like it's not as good as it was.
No.
I think we just really needed this 3-week break.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Like not even if he comes back, the art is the same, I will not care because, you know, it's not about like the art like visually improving. It's just about him being able to like finally have a nice fucking break. Yeah. But I've not been vibing with like a lot of the art choices. I think in one that really stood out was Rar, the Quan Chi comeback. Yeah, and I really liked the Quan Chi comeback. I wouldn't say it like made me like the arc as like the chapter as a whole, but there's like a lot of scenes where I was like reading them thinking if this was in like his early part 2 style or like even in his like International Assassins style, this would have been so visually interesting, but it's just not, because it's not in the normal style. Like, it has the detailed backgrounds because of the assistants, but like Fujimoto's line work himself is just not that great, and it makes me depressed a little bit.
I think it was just like rushing to do it, but given a little more time, I think it worked really well.
Yeah, I agree. I
think
totally
that
agree.
one page of Quan Chi cutting up all the
the double spread,
it's
right?
kind of meh. Could have been better. Like if he added the fisheye effect like he did in International Arc, that'd be good.
That was by the Dan assistant,
he's so
right?
good at this.
Yeah, I think the fisheye was from.
Well, no, I mean Fujimoto was doing it, but I think Yukino.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely was doing it. But I was like specifically about the fisheye effect,
which Yukinobu does all the time now. By the way, in Dandadan, if you enjoy the extreme background,
he does the same spreads every single week.
Check out Dandadan, where you will get all of that. Oh my god, he's a fucking freak.
Yeah, but I wasn't like doomer posting like Chainsaw Man is over, but like I was not enjoying
you were definitely
it
talking a lot about it on Priv.
Listen, man,
you had to.
It was like specifically about the art. Like I remember like one post I made was like Chainsaw Man is so mid, I'm hyperfixating on music videos right now.
and you were.
But like the recent chapters have been like, I wouldn't say like they're peak Chainsaw Man, but like I can see it like building up into being something I personally enjoy again. But I know a lot of people have really liked these past chapters, so I'm not being like, oh yeah, this sucks objectively. Just, it hasn't caught my attention personally.
Yeah, the art, I can kind of see it. I'm still unsure like if it really is a burnout sign. The only reason I'm saying that is because it's been a really long time since he switched over to this style. I would actually say that he probably starts this transition in Falling Arc. In the midst of Falling Arc, he switches the way characters are renders to this lower detail style.
It was kind of it was starting to become really noticeable in that one chapter where Yoshida confronts Denji. The line I mean.
Yeah, and it's like, I think, there's something that, like, the early part 2 art is just, like, ridiculous. Like,
it's crazy. I actually, like, I remember when it was first coming out, I was like, damn, this is, like, I don't know if I even like this. Like, it's so detailed.
Yeah, it's not, like, there's a very real sense in which like something like that isn't really possible for a weekly. I mean, it would
at least not for a weekly done by one dude.
It would be pushing it for a monthly. Like if we're talking, he does it bi-weekly anyway, and which is already like around 30 pages a month, and I don't know if you can really sustain that. But he was managing to do it all the way up through 110, so maybe we'll see it turn around. I think he just like changed his drawing style a little bit, is how it seems to me, and he is working it out. Like he's trying to figure out a way to render it that.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind the drawing style that badly if like the assistants joined in, because like God, I don't know the word. The contrast between the backgrounds and the characters is so trying.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's also really weird because, like, it's like, oh man, it looks like he's burning out. It looks like he's, not enjoying his art. And then he does these, like, fire renderings that are clearly him, because if you've read Fire Punch, this is...
Yeah.
Bad. And you look at it and you're like,
I remember
like, did you spend the whole 2 weeks on this? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing
Dude, I love the idea of Fujimoto spending like 13 days on those like 3 burning house panels, and then he was like, "Oh fuck, I got to do the character."
I
Yeah,
don't think it's him, but I think it's one of the assistants. I think, it's really jarring to see in 150 the the line art be so chunky. It just doesn't fit.
yeah.
Even though I really like that chapter,
So fucking sick.
like,
It's weird. It's weird to me because like there's some.
Yeah.
It's like it's super similar to his Fire Punch ones, like Devs was saying, but also in the same way, like that cynic in me is being like, I don't think he drew this. I think it was an assistant, because it's just like the way the characters are drawn. It's just it's crazy. Like if this is like his new drawing style, why isn't it like the background's also super thin?
I know it's very weird, but like that kind of fire rendering, you can't really do thick lines, right? Like it's impossible. It doesn't work. So I don't. He's trying something. I think it has its moments. It has its misses. I mean, 135 is in the style and has some of my favorite art in the whole series. With
what chapter is that?
Or 134, the television breakdown scene. I want to be Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
So well done, even though it's not super detailed.
It's just adding the shadows. It just does so much. Adding the shadows.
The shading, great.
Yeah.
The lighting is all really great. He's really focused on that stuff. It does feel like it kind of just feels like he just doesn't give a shit. Like he's just like, it's fine. I'm not gonna bother.
Dude.
Like whatever, dude.
I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, look, I want to draw this sick house. I don't want to spend all my fucking time drawing the folds on Barem's shirt. Those bursting seams, like.
I think what Fujimoto does with his style, like the hatching, is his best feature.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a
I kind of miss that one shading style he had that wasn't like shadows. It was more like it was with the line art
crosshatch
from part.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it, but part 2 early style is so detailed. I still really like it. Like chapter 2 has some of the best Asa faces.
Yeah, the Asa faces in the first chapters were good. Like every single one. Even like the smallest panel.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
He was
now
really...
I want to kill him for not drawing her at all.
I know.
What is he doing with his knife?
Let's get into it. I think we've ragged on Fujimoto enough. I think we all.
Wait, I didn't say what chapter I thought was the worst
chapter. I'll skip mine because I don't know.
Okay, let me think. If it had to be the worst chapter, probably what Alex said about Quan Chi one, the Raw. I still really like it. Like the double spread was good.
Okay,
that's crazy. Actually,
I don't really.
I'm very surprised.
Okay, if you're.
No, I mean the one for the previous chapters. Maybe I'm confusing something, but the one with the Raw was the introduction to Quan Chi.
Right, that's the Quan Chi introduction.
Yeah.
I think that one's because of Miri, what he's been saying. But never mind. Maybe Fumiko's introduction is what I don't like. Like Fumiko.
That's true.
I just don't like it.
Fumiko's introduction pissed me off.
It's like an intense annoying.
Like now I can reread it and I can be like, oh, Denji's falling into the pattern again. But like when I was reading it weekly, I was so mad.
I get it.
Trying to piss you off. It's so fucking. Ugh.
It was, dude.
I like that Fujimoto addressed it after, in future chapters of like 140 something, when Fumiko said, I like watching you do the thing, gross as fuck.
Yeah, it's like, her
design is so good too, so it makes me mad.
It's one of those things where it's like, you get that it fits in the story, and you're like, damn, this is kind of a significant thing, and I can understand the role this character plays. Okay, it does. Okay, here's my thing with Fumiko is that I think this is a little bit of Fujimoto trying to have it both ways with, the like Denji's relationship to women as a theme in the story, because thus far it's always been like Denji has a relationship with these women, but these women have their own sort of like fleshed out role in the story. They're not really attached to Denji per se. But Fumiko is really like this female character that does kind of have to be attached to Denji to fill a role in the story. And it's one of these things, it's like a very, it's a classic problem when you're writing a story about the dude, and the dude likes women, and so the women become like this vehicle for telling a story about the dude. And Fumiko just has that problem, right? It's like she doesn't really have her own thing going on. She just comes in.
Yeah, even her base like thing is about Denji and Chainsaw Man. But yeah, I thought you were like gonna go on about how like Fujimoto was like wants to show like Denji's issues with like women taking advantage of him, but then like he also wanted like a fun hijinks character. I think that was like the weirdest thing about Fumiko. Like,
I mean, she kind of has that like dangerous bad girl punk rocker thing, right? Who's gonna lead you down the wrong path, you know? And
like I don't mind characters who are like bad. I mean, obviously my profile picture, and but with Fumiko, it's just like
surprised to hear that. I think people might actually want, but yeah, I mean,
don't even worry about it. But it's just like I don't know. Like there's when we were talking about criticizing a chapter that doesn't exist, like I don't know, that's a lot of my issues with like part 2, but like in the same way I don't really want to like frame it as a critique, because like in the future my opinion will probably change as things evolve, so it's more like my current complaint that is subject to review.
I think that's why these kind of podcasts, like you can look back and think, oh, so that's what happened. Oh, so I was wrong, and things like that. I'm never wrong, though. I'm always right.
You are always correct, Suzu.
I remember.
It's so funny. Every time I get on a podcast, I say something about a character, and he gets to show up. Like Yoshida, okay, Yoru, yeah. Okay. I'm just saying.
We will.
Can we talk about Izuku then?
Let's go. Okay, now we've talked about our best and worst. But I guess my worst was actually also like a Quanchi chapter, but I'm just surprised you didn't mention 147, which was like, this was like everyone was calling it max mid. Like I thought Quanchi's introduction, it didn't quite have the same impact as Quanchi's first strike, but we know Quanchi's like there's
it didn't make me as angry. I remember the most discussion. Yeah. Sorry. I was gonna say, I remember the most discussion around 147 was that man's arm.
Yes, I mean it looked kind of scuffed. It was a little the foreshortening is off. And some of the foreshortening is off for like Quanchi's motion as well. The perspective's not quite great. I mean, Fujimoto's perspective is never, just don't worry about it too much.
It's stylistic.
He's not calculating everything, not necessarily. But I think this is the most sort of like, I will say, the issues with this chapter that people had with the paneling did get kind of resolved by the next chapter, or by the next chapter, because he does a parallel like paneling structure for Yoru jumping down as he does for Quanchi jumping down. So it's like he's planning stuff. He's still got ideas. I just think it's more hit or miss right now. It feels like he's like trying shit. He's trying stuff. He's trying these like fancy paneling things. He's trying this like super complicated story with like there's like 15 characters running around now. Who knows? Like half of them we don't know where they are. It's like all this stuff that he hasn't done before. Some of it is landing, some of it is not landing. Why is the fire super detailed again? Again in this chapter.
Maybe Lynn asked for it.
Yeah, this was 147, which is kind of this. It's not. There's not that much content in the chapter. It's a short chapter.
Yeah.
The art is, is some places look good, some places look bad. It doesn't cohere that much. Overall, it was just very much like I would say, of all the chapters that have been released in part 2, this was probably the only one that really didn't have like any impact in my mind. Everything else, I had something to think about. Maybe the art wasn't hitting the most, but Quan Chi came back. Oh shit, that's big. It's
I
like,
agree.
Yeah.
the art was so good, but oh my god, we're developing all these ideas. This is so sick. It's so gas. This one was just had nothing going on. The art was like, it was fine. It still looks kind of cool.
There was nothing to say.
But
remarkable.
It's kind of
except that the line art was bad.
Yeah, except the line art looked a little scuffed, and the action was, Fujimoto at his most sort of like choppy, blocky in terms of action, which does happen here and there. And this was kind of a full chapter of it, so it's kind of That was my bottom. It was also really late in the arc.
We can only look up, guys.
Go up from here. We have from here, but let's just go back all the way and review. Although technically speaking, Yuko is not in 2023, but let's hear it. Let's go through Chainsaw Man. Looking in the rear view mirror. What are our big thoughts about things now that 2023, this meaty year, has come and gone?
Well, this is definitely my most mixed bag year for Chainsaw Man. I haven't been reading it like I heard of it when it first came out, but I wasn't reading it weekly like the whole time. I read up till Katana Man because that's how far it was. I was like, this is okay. And then I forgot about it until Aki died.
Right.
So I'm using that as like my frame of reference for like weekly reading. But this has definitely been my most like weekly reading year for Chainsaw Man. Like 2022 was pretty good. 2023 was pretty mixed. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, this year fucking sucked. Every chapter sucked. I fucking hate Chainsaw Man now. It's just like, there were chapters I really liked and some chapters I really didn't like. But I think it's going to go up. I think that weekly reading is a different experience than reading like in full retrospect.
For example, we had, Crash is our resident like weekly shonen. He's locked in the weekly shonen community. And he was talking about reading like the part 1 serial, right, and getting to the Gun Devil arc, and the chapter dropped, which was just like the list of names, right? It's the Gun Devil.
Yeah, I remember when
list of names, and he was talking about how like literally everyone was like, this chapter's ass, like Chainsaw Man's ass, this chapter's ass. Like, we've got the big Gun Devil reveal, and there is nothing here. It is a list of fucking names. Like, what is this shit?
Wait, isn't there a page at the end of Aki being controlled by Makima?
He dies in that chapter. His name is like the last one on the list, and that's sort of like the big moment in the chapter. But
my like view of fandom like pre Gun Devil was literally like just Reddit, because like Twitter wasn't really banging back then for Chainsaw Man, but my friend was really into it, so like that was my main like point of focus of Chainsaw Man, and he loved that chapter, so that's kind of crazy to hear about.
So I think like week to week reaction is just very, I don't know. At this point, I don't really do it.
It's way different. Like I think most people looking back when they see that chapter with the huge list of names, they'll be like, "That is so fucking cool."
Probably.
Like again,
I think they're too caught up in the moment, like of waiting and like expecting something. But when you reread it, you see like, oh, so that's the intention and that's the whole theme. That's what I love about Chainsaw Man. You get to reread and learn new things.
Yeah, and appreciate new things as well.
It's very much a like I haven't done a part 2 reread in a while just because I reread it way too many times.
Same, I should. I like to read it both times.
I cannot say how many times I've reread Chainsaw Man in full.
How many?
As of late. It's pretty bad. Let me check my list, actually. It's okay. Well, my total is 56.
That's good.
I have a podcast on. I think I've done like 5.
I think I've done like maybe 2.
Don't worry about it. But my latest reread was December 14. So that's the most time I've reread part 1. Part 2,
so much.
Sorry. It's fun. Like you appreciate new things. Like I didn't fully understand. I didn't fully understand International Assassins until like a while. But like 2 years ago, I think. And I knew Chainsaw Man for like 4 years. So don't worry about it.
I think I've reread part 2. I've read like the first third like 10 times. And now I don't go back and reread that much. Mostly because I'm so fucking locked in on shit that I'm just like
you gotta get locked in when you're in Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah, I'm just like tearing the chapters apart whenever they drop. So it's a mess. But definitely I feel like the Denji arc, this latest arc, was one that really changed when I went back and reread it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree.
Like
reading like standalones is pretty difficult, but when you reread them all together, you totally understand like the meaning and the significance of the story.
Oh shit. And which brings us to where we are now. But okay, again, looking back at 2023, there is something I want to discuss. 2023, we begin on 116. And we end not on an Asuden chapter, but just after Asuden tidbits. So let's discuss this topic. Some big topics. Let's discuss 2023, the state of the Asuden. Where are we now? What
trash. Denji's gonna end up with Yoshida. Don't even play. Sorry, I'm joking.
You're talking to
Man, I hope for Yoshida's sake that he does not end up with Denji, dude. Like this.
No,
don't even worry. If they did, it would be very
I actually really like Yoshida. My problem is with the fans. I can't stand them. Like, I really can't.
We don't need to bring...
It's very strange to me because like to have Denji want to be with Yoshida is like it's like with power. If you write power in a romantic relationship, you have to mischaracterize her just to make it work. That's like with Denji and Yoshida. You have to.
Yoshida.
Which is why it does not work.
I mean,
it's just.
I think Yoshida just should be free from Denji. He just needs to get out of there.
Free. You just said he deserves better.
He definitely does. He deserves better than all of this.
So
like
funny.
He needs to quit his fucking.
I just feel bad for him.
A normal emo man.
He has to do this job that he doesn't even want to do.
I don't know about that.
I really want Yoshida backstory in 2024.
Yoshida backstory 2024.
At least
what about Asuden? I think
Yes.
2022 was the year of Asuden.
Really? But 127 happens in 2023, and so does Sentimental Drive, and so does.
I still think I still think the peak of Asaden was the aquarium.
But that's
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Chapter 116.
Oh, was it? My bad. I thought the ending of the aquarium arc was 2023, but like the big chunk of it was 2022.
The real Asaden is real. Eating starfish, running through the halls is the first chapter
So
of 2023.
cute.
Oh, okay. Then my bad. I think like late 2022, early
Yes.
2023
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
Asaden peak.
There were so many fun arts. Like I was living the dream. This was awesome.
Yeah. Now you're eating the
January.
scraps off
I
of
don't
the
even eat
handrail.
scraps. I eat dirt.
Meh.
All right, so
Zach
we've
made
had
them.
we've
This
had
is a dire situation. Please, somebody get me out of here.
a huge decline in Asaden over the year. We kicked it off with this is real teen romance. We've got Hands Across the Sky in April. We've got Super Chainsaw Motorcycle in May. And then it all falls apart. What happened? What's going on here? What are we looking at in Asaden? Is there any hope? Is it completely scuffed now?
I think there's obviously hope.
No, there's
Fujimoto
definitely
have
hope.
all
Yeah.
these.
I mean, all
Yeah.
that build up wouldn't be for nothing. I just think, I think it was like they're building up
Yeah.
the teen romance, like cute little lighthearted aspect, and then this big break is like everything's going to shit. So like when they meet up again, it's going to be very tense.
Yes!
Like they won't know it's
This
tense.
is what I
but we'll know
want.
it's
Thank
tense.
you. Like I love the chapter of 104, like their meeting, because it just encapsulates both their characters so well. And like it's the talk with on the rooftop
with Yoshida.
Yeah.
Yoshida.
It's so funny to see them. Yoshida really just let Asa destroy him.
Okay. Let me ask the real question.
This
though.
is true.
Denji's
What's
gone
up?
deep in Chainsaw Man. You both know that I'm like a War Devil believer or a Warsaw believer.
Yeah.
You know, this is my
Yeah, we know.
truther.
I think it's good.
Do you think? Because on the roof, we're
definitely gonna get a callback if
yours pushing Denji to or yours pushing Asa to like seduce boys, and Yoshida's the one who set this whole thing up. So they're being pushed together, but it is Denji and Asa. It is a real Asaden. This is not Chainsaw Man and Yoru. Do you think we ever get back here, or are they truly locked into their monster selves now? Right?
No, I think there's always hope.
I think there's definitely going to be deconstruction. And it's like Yoru's arc is definitely
Yeah.
Yoru's arc is definitely going to be her realizing that she feels things for Asa, and I think as a result she feels things for Denji. Maybe not like explicitly romantic, but maybe it will be, depending on like how they share a mind. I think it probably will be romantic, but like I also think the ending is definitely going to be Yoru like sacrificing herself in some manner to save Asa, as like locking in the theme of her character. No, it's gonna be Yoru winning. Don't even worry, because like Yoru thinks that winning is gonna be war, but you know what she's actually gonna win? She's gonna win the war. Don't even worry.
True.
I think there's just a lot of constructing right now
power.
of Fujimoto just setting everything up to lead to this moment of them meeting again. Like, there's no way he's doing all this bullshit just for like nothing.
Oh yeah.
You guys come back in a podcast 2024 year review. It turns out he was doing all that bullshit for nothing.
Joking. He was.
I like how that was just so dead face blunt, like you didn't even think about it.
I feel like the Super Chainsaw Motorcycle is a pretty big thing, like it's like a Chekhov's gun to leave on the table. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there are super
Yeah.
power-ups are possible through the power of teen cringe, and like like
Mhm.
you
Oh,
can't
wait,
walk away from that,
Dubs,
dude.
I
Like
actually have a
that's so
question.
fucking sick, bro. Yes.
Would you mind? Can we talk about favorite characters introduced this
characters.
year? Like
Parts
not
two
like
new
just
characters. Absolutely.
yeah. Let's say like reintroductions
Yeah.
count, because like Barum and like Miri, they weren't really
Yeah,
characters in part one per se.
the hybrids were not even like they were in one chapter in part one. They didn't do anything. But
Yeah. So yeah, let's hear about Baram's
Oh,
boobs
yes.
with Zuzu.
Oh, so now you want to give me the stage? Yeah. So when it was Epsiode, I couldn't even talk. Okay, never mind. Yeah, next time.
Oh my goodness. Asadin makes
No,
you such a
Zuzu,
spiteful little
if you
I
have
creature.
know.
more to drop on Austin, if you have more to gush on Austin, let's go. Do it. Get it right now. Then we'll transition to this.
Yeah.
What can I say? Like,
Don't
I
worry,
definitely agree with most of what you were saying. Like that, there's a lot is going on with Epsiode, and that Fujimoto is just kind of not really abandoning, but I think it's just planning a lot of things.
Yes,
Yeah.
setting a stage.
And when it comes to it, I think there's gonna be like another arc, like falling arc. Like most definitely, there's gonna be like more chapters than it was in part one. That's what I think. Not just because it's
in part
there's
two.
a lot to discuss,
I don't know.
but there's just a lot of happening things.
Yeah.
I will say, the entire development of 2023, which a lot happened, was only 35 chapters. And we're
Yeah,
That's still crazy. Because like it's
No,
not
and
that
we're
much
only,
when you
like,
think about it. That's like one arc of part
we're only like
one.
6. No, we're like 50 some chapters into part 2 as a whole. 2022 and 2023 combined.
Yeah.
So if we get another 35 chapters this year, that's not even the 98 that we get in part 1. So probably over a year left, and I don't know. We all know.
I want to hope there's gonna be more.
I mean,
Like,
draw as many as you need to, bro. But also, like, we all know how like Chainsaw Man pacing is like that.
yeah,
Like
you can change any second.
A month goes by, and you look back at the chapters, and you're like, holy, what the fuck's going on? So I don't know. I hope so. I don't think he has necessarily like a set number in mind, but maybe he does. I mean, he kept it pretty tight, close to 100 on part 1. I can imagine him trying to do the same thing again.
Yeah, since I think I'm not sure anymore, since Famine has become a pretty major character in part 2. I thought the original plan was like each part focuses on a horseman as like a main role. Like in part 1, it was like the classic antagonist. But I thought the same would be with the Famine, but I'm not sure anymore. So I don't know how many parts there's going to be.
I'm a 3-part truther, just because we all know Fujimoto is like a movie nerd, and it's just the trilogy.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The trilogy.
I personally like that it'd be just 2 parts, but I can see a 3rd part doing good. I feel it's like
I hope it's not just 2 parts, because I feel like Yoru needs to fully flesh out, and I feel like Death Devil is like its whole other bag of worms.
Apocalypse arc. I'm talking, or like Hell parts. You know what I mean? Like we have to go back to Hell and find power.
Yeah,
that's so far from where we are narratively. But
dude, if Asa's like the one who finds power, that'd
like
be
hell
hilarious.
comes to Earth, da 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 da.
Yeah, like Falling Devil, but like worse, way worse.
He goes nuts. Very just monsters everywhere. Need that Hell arc part 3. Fujimoto, I know you're listening. You heard. Give the people. Yeah.
This is his top
He talks in
podcast.
every
Yeah.
even though it's all English. I think yes. I think that's a good read on Austin from the Austin Hive leader herself. We got a good.
I think one of the things that's kind of baffled me, like that people didn't mention much, that like Asa and Denji in 127, they literally held hands, and I could go on and on like how it's thematically and like both in character. It's just they're both helping each other and keeping each other like grounded. Like even in a moment like this, every time they like get together, they're always fucking up the plans of Fami, and that's why it's so good.
Right. It's like right now they're both like up. They're both like detached. They're getting like alienated, detached. They're being driven away from their grounded state of themselves into these what do you call that? Parasocial performances, parasocial self
Relationship?
like
Or-
me,
Yeah.
right? When you get on stream,
Okay.
you have to do yapping. It's just like it's different when you're live. That's just how it is. And so yeah, that the notes that Asaden is like this grounding thing that pulls them back down. That's a very interesting idea. Hopefully we get to see that come into play again. Some yes, I think
we definitely will.
don't lose
This
hope.
is the break.
Asaden Nation, we will be.
Never lose hope.
Never lose hope. Never give up. Live, yes.
Live.
Speaking of
Live.
living characters, Alex, you wanted to talk about new characters.
Yeah.
New to part 2. We have a lot
Yeah.
new to part 2.
I was pleasantly surprised because early part 2, not like early, like right after Yuko dies, I was kind of losing hope that there would be like a major supporting cast, and then like a demon via my answers.
Like, you think I can't cook side characters? Did you think I am, bro? I'm just
because so like my moving went from Yoshida, Denji, Asa trio to never mind to Asa, Yuka, Denji trio to never mind to then I was like Miri, Asa, Denji trio. Wait, definitely not. To maybe Fumiko, Yoshida, Denji.
I think it plays a lot with different dynamics, but it never settles. Like it's probably because the relationships Denji has with like in both Asa she has with other people, they're never like I want to say it, but grounded. Like they never stay. And they just falter.
It's very
there's
fleeting.
no connection.
It's very alienating, yes.
Yeah.
Guy, I don't know what is wrong with him. But that said, when the dust settles, who's your pick? Who's the most interesting? Who's got the sauce to you of all? I mean, Miri and Barum. I will give my take. You're not gonna like this one. I will go. It is actually Fumiko.
Is it going to be Fumiko?
Serious.
I actually understand that.
do.
Don't worry. I understand.
It's a very interesting character to me.
There's a difference between disliking a character because of their personality and their actions, which is how I feel, and like disliking a character because they're objectively bad written. And I don't think she's objectively bad written. I just, don't like her as a person.
Written to be annoying in such a good way.
Yeah, like she sucks, but she's supposed to
suck. Just to dive right into it, since I dropped the nuke on this discussion. We are like everyone. Okay, I remember when Austin was like popping off. Everyone was like, "Where the fuck is Denji? Where the fuck is Denji? Where the fuck is Denji? Da 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 da. Where is Denji?" And they were like, "We need to get back to Denji because he needs to process all of his complex feelings and trauma and everything.
I could
And then
laugh.
we went back to Denji, and we introduced the character who is like, that's that. You know what I mean? Like Fumiko, this is it. Like this is the character that is this. You know, this is like, oh, this is what, you know. Oh, this is how we're getting it. Yeah, of course Fujimoto's gonna do it through some like questionable, attractive young woman. Like, of course he.
Like a monkey's paw. You wish for something and it curls.
Boom. Yeah. Yep. Is you're like, oh, you want Denji to deal with the sexual trauma? Interesting. Yeah. We'll see. How do you think that's gonna go in a Fujimoto
Process
manga?
his feelings like that too.
Yeah.
I could laugh, really.
Yeah, honestly, I think my favorite thing about Fumiko is just like her energy. Like she's so part one side character. She's so crazy. I'm like, oh wait, you know that like that image of like the woman holding like frozen snacks on her head. Like she's so crazy, you can't take her anywhere. That's what I feel.
Exactly, dude. Like she's this complete like failure of an adult. We've had so many of those in Chainsaw Man, and here it is back again, all like, you know, all wrapped up in one tight little character who's there to just push on the most upsetting and challenging topics that Fujimoto wants to.
Yeah. Fujimoto dares to ask the question, what if Himeno was worse?
He was like, well, but Day's like, damn, well, y'all really didn't like Himeno. Well, you know, hold my beer, you know, let's go.
Yeah.
Here she comes.
See how much you really didn't like her, you know what I mean?
I think it was annoying to me that the fandom switched up so fast on her. I think it's mostly because of the male fans, which I'm just gonna kill. But I think she's a nuanced character, just in a way that's purposefully, like, represents the fandom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's one half of the Burem duality, right? This very like obsessive.
I think it's interesting because like you said, like one half of the Burem duality, like Burem is obsessed with. It's in the beginning. I thought it was Fumiko's obsessed with Denji as a person. Burem's obsessed with Chainsaw Man, but I think it's opposite. Like Fumiko is obsessed with Denji, quote unquote, but she's really obsessed with Chainsaw Man and his actions. And then Burem talks about Denji, but he's actually obsessed with personally punishing Denji as a person.
Chainsaw Man, but then he's really fucking pissed that Denji has like
he doesn't really care.
A sister.
He's pissed about
fuck, dude.
Yeah. Like he's mad that Denji ruined Makima's plan personally. He doesn't care about Chainsaw Man.
We've unpacked it live on YouTube. We've got Fumiko hates Chainsaw Man, and then she says she likes Denji, but because she hates fucking Chainsaw Man, because you know her parents fucking died. Stupid fucking fight with his feet. What the fuck is that? And then Burem says that he loves Chainsaw Man, but really he just fucking hates Denji. Like he just hates this.
That's the whole thing.
It's that Denji. Very interesting.
I think they idolize the parts that they deem like better in their minds, like what's benefiting them more. Especially with Fumiko, she's always taking advantage of Denji, but she's scared when he's Chainsaw Man and even angry. Like,
so she runs away. Oh my god.
Yeah. She's trying to. It goes into the themes of control, like by belittling Denji and making him do weird sexual things. She's like punching down Chainsaw Man, but like when she sees Chainsaw Man, she's really scared because it was just a means to feel better about herself through controlling him. Like if she makes the person who basically killed her parents humiliated, then she feels better about it.
We're cooking live on YouTube.
Yeah,
you're getting the real.
I think if we're gonna talk about Fumiko, then Burem is my favorite because he's not only just a great addition, and he like manipulated Denji so well. It's just he's so entertaining. Like even more than Fumiko, I'd say. He's so interesting to see.
It's really interesting because like in part one, it was the most Barum was brought up when people talked. They'd be like, "Hey guys, did you notice that the flamethrower fiend or what is it called hybrid wasn't like under Makima's control? He was just there for fun." But then it was like, "Oh wait, actually no. He was there for Makima.
Yeah, I remember
he didn't need to
that
be
was
controlled.
Gene,
He
right?
already won."
God, what a
On
chapter
Twitter.
51 was, dude. What a fucking
Yeah.
banger. Absolute return to insanity.
It was crazy. Like, yeah, it's like it's furthering that theme of like obviously he's not really in love with Makima. He was just like
Yeah.
in love with her
Who
plan.
knows?
But like it's so good. Like it just it
Some
added on
people
to
said
layers.
it was like when
yeah,
Makima worshipped Chainsaw Man, it's just
Right.
a reversal of themes. I
Yeah.
think it's just like it's supposed to represent generational trauma, like how Makima saw Chainsaw Man. Barum sees her, and then like
Oh, that's
Barum
true.
tries to inflict that upon Denji, but Denji like he recovered
Yeah.
from that.
Like Denji was I think it's good also with Denji because Denji was he was close to
Very
continuing
close.
that cycle if he
Exactly.
wasn't such a good person. Like instead of becoming obsessed with Makima and like living her out, even though he's literally living with her right now, which is kind of crazy that he avoided that. He wants to do better and he carries her with him, but he's not just carrying her. He's trying to do other things that help other people. But Baram is just full of hatred and anger, and he hasn't gotten over it.
He really does think of her as a savior, like someone who she previously controlled to think that she was a savior. He actually considers her a savior, which is funny.
Speaking of false salvation, Alex, you wanted to spit
Miri.
on Miri. You want to talk about Miri, the boy wonder. Miri's currently battling the entire verse.
I think Miri has so much. Yeah. He has so much potential.
He does.
It's crazy.
What do you see?
Like
unlock this mystery.
I see well, I'm kind of like a truther of like Yoshida and Miri are like two halves of Denji being used by the government. Like Yoshida is like the salary man who can be replaced at any time, faceless, nameless, doesn't have any goals of his own, doesn't really show emotions because it's not important to the job. And then Miri is like being used by the government and also being faceless, not because it's required of your job, but because you don't have any other use.
The agency he has is taken away, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't. I don't. To be frank, I don't even think Miri Sugo is his real name.
You're still the pseudonym.
It's a little ridiculous.
It's yeah.
I am. I never fucking got it. The party's over.
Yeah,
He's still
I'm
here.
still with it. I think we could learn.
I don't think it's a fake name per se. I think he genuinely doesn't have another name. Like he doesn't have a name. Like Whip Hybrid, I don't think she has a name. Definitely not. I don't think she has a name at all. I think Barum has a name as in he gave himself one. I think the thing with the hybrids is
yeah, how did he I don't
or it's gonna be like Rez, where it's like I have one name, but I don't have a last name because I don't have a family. Or I think it's going to be like Miri, where like I was never named because I was never seen as a person in the first place.
I do think 2024 might be that year where we get it with the hybrids. You know, I hope
so.
I do too, and I'm so excited. Like the last chapters really made me excited. Yes. I love the hybrids.
It made me remember something about Miri and Yoshida. You said that it was like a reflection of the Japanese society. That what Fujimoto does. I really do think that's what he's trying to do. Both the social commentary and what's happening, the political, like the burning bodies. I still think that's morbid, but like definitely tries to reflect the ongoing reality.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Going definitely in. I mean, the cult stuff with all the things that are going on in the Unification Church right now in Japan is kind of wild, honestly, to me that he's writing this. I'm usually kind of
Yeah.
surprised. I'm both like surprised and not surprised that Japanese fans don't seem to latch on quite as much to the stuff, but I'm also like not really shocked. Like sometimes I see it here and there, like, oh, he's talking about the Unification Church and things, but I'm always I'm surprised people aren't more surprised. Let me put it that way. People aren't like, whoa.
I think it makes sense because my understanding of Japanese is pretty limited to, like, I don't even know how to say it out loud because I have a lisp, but kana, katata, and I can barely read kanji, so I never see any fans talking about the Unification Church, like, ever.
It's one of those things, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, like, who are you writing this for, man? Because
I think he's just writing for himself, and
Yeah.
people like
It's just him.
you have to be like kind of locked in on like, the developments of Japanese politics and like all this different shit. I don't know. He's just such a nerd, dude. Like he's just
I think he's a history nerd too.
I like when
in a
Fujimoto
lot
gets
of
political.
sense. I want to know how
Definitely.
he'll paint like war, like Yoru, how he'll do her. I want to see that so bad. Like if we get World War II mention, I'm just gonna explode because that's gonna be such a good, like, I know he's gonna make a good commentary on it.
Yeah, I have two things on that one thing you said, Zuzu, because you're so special like that. Number one, about like Yoru, I want to see Yoru. I can't wait to see Yoru's powered up.
I want to
if
see
he
her.
doesn't get wings, I'm out. Man.
I think
like literally.
I think it's gonna be like, I think it's gonna be like a harpy thing.
Well, not hot.
Because it fits with war. It fits with war well, while also keeping her bird theme. And as well, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like something Fujimoto would do, like Hark Woman.
Yeah,
I can't see her being that abstract. I think she's going to be
there's going to be a lot of body horror. Like, at least I want body horror from Yoru.
So much body horror already. Like, part one was very much sort of, I don't know, like cosmic horror. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like the fear of just that panel being empty.
Body horror ties so well with Asa's character. Like, just exactly.
Yeah,
I want to see how she'll react to just all these power up, because we don't see yet.
We haven't seen her reaction to having one arm. Please, God, Fujimoto, help!
Please,
please, get away from this engine.
Do we know if she heals quickly yet?
We don't know. Everyone says blah blah of like,
it might
she can
over.
heal for sure. She just needs to drink some blood. You don't fucking like don't.
I want to see what it's gonna do with it.
Fucking power system.
There has to be something.
Makes sense.
It's fine. Asa, she can become left-handed. I believe.
No one knows how this fucking power system works. It doesn't make any.
We don't even know if she's a fiend.
That arm could be, you know, I've heard the mecha arm. That would be fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, it could be a good reference to Machine Girl. Yeah.
I feel like mecha arms aren't going to come in because of, if part one, like the public safety, like people who need their arms to be good quote unquote soldiers, if they didn't have access to like prosthetics, I don't think Asa will, unless Yoru builds her one.
Some kind of transformation, like more body horror.
You know, her weapon, like she's this, you know, super mecha arm, super logging machine. I know.
Asa needs to watch Cylinder or something.
I wonder if she is. Well, I think rounding out the 90-minute mark on this special episode was pretty good. overall look at 2023 as a year, it was a very exciting year. It was a very Epsiode year. It was a gradual decline into madness and a slow degradation of the line art. Hopefully, we see new
You're
developments
being mean now.
on the schedule side. Hopefully,
Dude,
wow,
Fujimoto's mom listens to this podcast.
I hope he does. We're gonna get. I mean, we're probably gonna get more developments on the weapons, on Yoru, probably some Yoru in there, and then maybe some Denji and maybe some Asaden, something like that coming down the line. 24, we will see the direction of this new year in Chainsaw Man coming in 5 days. Will we be on a weekly schedule? Will we be on a monthly schedule? Who fucking knows? We will find soon. Very exciting times, very exciting moment in the story. If you want to hear more discussion of that, lock in here on the Public Safety Special Broadcast. Thank you, every friend, for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, yell at us, complain about us in the comments. We will read them and then delete them. Thank you very much. Yeah, rate us on a
scale of 1 to 10.
Review us in the App
Do
Store.
listen to us.
You know. Tell us what you thought about this year in 2023. I super duper want to read that, actually. We will see you next time. Thank you, my guests, for coming on the show. This was the Public Safety Special Broadcast. I was your host, Secret Doves. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.